To deliver the welcome address, please welcome Mrs. Geeta Sabharwal, UN Resident Coordinator in Thailand, United Nations Thailand.
His Excellency Arkom Thermpithiya Paisip, Minister Finance, Dr. Sitaput, Governor, Bank of Thailand, Kun Ruanwadi, Secretary General, Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Pakon, President, Stock Exchange of Thailand, Dr. Shrikanya, Secretary General, Government Pension Fund, Kun Kataya, CEO, Kasikon Bank. Your Excellency, esteemed business and civil service leaders, colleagues, and friends, thank you for the opportunity to address you today, where we have so much leadership gathered in one place. First, let me take a moment to recognize how we got here. In recent decades, Thailand has been one of the world's remarkable development stories. The number of people living in poverty have fallen from 67% of the population in the mid-1980s to only 8.8% in 2020. This statistic comes from the World Bank, but I'm sure many of you know this better than I, having watched this development trajectory change lives in your communities and neighborhoods, workplaces and industries, and among friends and family. Let's also clearly acknowledge the challenges facing Thailand. I'm pleased to see continued progress on the logistics of mass vaccinations, with full realization of the hard work and investment still needed for recovery. That effort is integrally linked to green economic growth and employment recovery in 4.0 industries, in areas where jobs will still be there in the future. As an example of building forward better from the pandemic, how do we create more jobs in provinces, given the reverse migration that we have seen recently? How do we finance economic growth and recovery while remaining competitive globally and sustainable and resilient in the long term? The answers to these questions are complex, but all rely on data-driven policy and sustainable investment. Admittedly, the current investment climate is cautious, with bank lending a barrier to scaling up sustainable financing. This will take collaborative effort to foster confidence and expand the shared commitment to Thailand's future. As we discuss sustainable financing today, I want to address three interlinked themes. First, we know that growth and sustainability are mutually interdependent. Second, innovative financing, including the role of the private sector, can and must drive forward the Sustainable Development Goals. And last, the UN is here bringing international expertise and global networks to support Thailand's path forward. For my first point, in my discussion with senior leaders in government and businesses, there's a clear recognition that the growth model of previous years is no longer an option. The toll taken on environment and biodiversity in recent years is incurring increasing and unsupportable external costs. Let's take a step back. Thailand is not overly reliant on coal at present and should not be further investing in that area. While the focus in the medium term is on gas as a transition fuel, the country needs to continue to scale up renewable sources in its energy mix. We know that Thailand has a per capita CO2 emissions rate of nearly 4 tons. I believe this is our opportunity to showcase the power to transform and bend the CO2 curve to build forward sustainably. As the COP26 Summit on Climate Change approaches next month, we are further reminded of Thailand's role, both as a matter of national urgency and a global responsibility. The recent Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report clearly states that we will all be affected, not in the remote future, but now in our own lifetimes, and have a collective responsibility to act. This is brought home in Thailand by extreme weather events leading to recent floods and fires, and these changing conditions must be built into our development plans. As Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank recently made clear, climate change now affects all aspects of monetary and fiscal policy. The 13th NESDP already lays the groundwork for the shift to the biocircular green economy, away from natural resource intensive to high value added industries. As we've discussed with many of you in consultations, the cooperation framework guiding all the UN's work in Thailand is aligned with and strongly supports these priorities. So we know that Thailand is already getting the policy framework right in many respects, including SDGs 12 and 13 respectively on responsible production and consumption and climate action. Leads me to implementation. As we work towards Thailand 4.0 and this more sustainable and inclusive future, green financing and private sector leadership are essential. The view of sustainable financing as an extra or optional cost burden is something we can no longer afford. For an export-driven economy, deeply integrated in global markets, Thailand's business sector is long used to working with international standards and conventions. More than that, sustainable investment is increasingly proving to be smart investing, with a recent IMF study estimating that green multipliers on investments are 2 to 7 times larger than conventional multipliers, creating jobs and strengthening economies. Sustainability increasingly equals profitability. An Oxford analysis of more than 200 studies has found that good sustainability standards lowers the cost of capital for companies, improves operational performance, and has a positive influence on share performance. Many businesses are moving on decarbonization simply because this is the key commercial opportunity of our time. The private sector representing 9 in 10 jobs and nearly 90% of the GDP has an undeniable leadership responsibility. Last year, high-level leaders of the Global Compact Network Thailand committed to invest $40 billion to support progress towards SDGs. Next month, the GCNT Forum is a major opportunity to further these commitments to reduce CO2 emissions in the race to zero. Banks and investors are also beginning to apply sustainability principles to financial markets. Katikorn Bank and GSB, representing 22% of the banking sector with combined assets of 200 billion, have already adopted the UN principles for responsible banking. I hope today's discussion results in recognition that we need to improve in this area. Globally, 40% of the banks have signed up, and we need to bring Thailand up to that standard. Similarly, the Government Pensions Fund has adopted ESG criteria across all investments, while leveraging the technical capacity of its investment teams to prepare models featuring ESG scores, placing it ahead of most countries in the Asia-Pacific region. This has enabled them to scale up investments in renewables alongside cleaner technologies. We must now continue to move and take forward to adopt UN principles into decision-making for the wider banking and investment industry. This transformation will be the engine of green growth, to further investment in rural Thailand and to capitalize on opportunities rather than see them as setbacks. We understand that improving the ecosystem of sustainable financing is a never-ending process. We also understand that each institution needs to move at its own pace to deliver on these principles as they learn and unlearn. It is also important to give them time to think through the changes in business operations to make them sustainable. If you lead and are visionary in this respect, the private sector will follow. The strategies that you adopt will set the framework for the economy as a whole. Let me now get specific about the technical expertise, policy recommendations, and international convening role that the UN brings to the table. These competencies are needed precisely because they complement Thailand's own strengths, knowledge, and human capital, enabling us to tackle challenges that are truly global in scale through strategies that are best suited for the context here. In a recent discussion with a policy expert at the UN's Climate Agency, I asked if there was one thing that you could recommend to Thailand, what would it be? The answer takes into account the obvious point that industry is wary of taxes or mandatory caps because it could harm their competitiveness in the region. The Paris Agreement provides the opportunity to use market-based instruments to increase ambition in climate action. A number of countries in the region have already indicated their intention to use or explore market-based mechanisms to implement these nationally determined contributions. Putting a price on carbon is an important regulatory measure to incentivize and support progress towards net zero by mid-century, with increased innovation and investment in sustainable technology. Linked with regional and bilateral market-based agreements across ASEAN, this will help Thailand to act as a frontrunner in the future low-carbon economy and support the achievement of national and international goals. The Economic and Social Commission for the Asia and the Pacific proposes a Build Forward Better policy package focusing on strengthening climate and clean energy action, as well as enhanced access to healthcare, social protection, and digital technologies. For Thailand, the policy package has the potential to reduce the number of poor by almost 600,000 people, increase output by 10%, and cut carbon emissions by about 27% by 2030. I look forward to more conversations about how the UN is working with the government and the private sector and how these partnerships can be expanded. I've had the pleasure of speaking and working with many of you here today. We all know the urgency and shared responsibility to achieve the economic transformation that Thailand needs. And we also know that we will only achieve these goals through innovative financing. These are challenging times, and the shared commitment towards Thailand's sustainable development and success are, for me, the greatest cause of optimism. I look forward to the hard work ahead as together we make those ambitions a reality. Thank you.